The world is full of mysteries and things we can't always explain, and they often amaze us. But what if I told you that there have been instances where Jesus Christ was reportedly captured on camera? Yes, you heard that right. We're about to explore 20 astonishing occasions where Jesus Christ was allegedly caught on camera. 20. Jesus seen settling stormy clouds. Here's a story that's as high-flying as it is inspiring. So there were hundreds of people flying in an airplane, cruising way up in the sky, when suddenly a huge storm hit. It wasn't just any storm, it was the kind that had even the toughest passengers gripping their seats tight. The plane was shaking and moving, and it felt like the storm was in charge. In the middle of this scary situation, a woman noticed something unusual. An old lady was sitting by the window, totally calm, praying quietly. Despite the chaos, the peace she had was so strong that the woman felt drawn to her. They quickly realized they shared the same faith and started praying together, hoping for a miracle, just like the ones from stories that happened a long time ago. Their prayers seemed to work because the wild shaking of the plane began to calm down. The storm was still there, but it wasn't as wild. During this time, the woman managed to take a photo of the stormy sky with lightning all over. Later, when getting the photo developed, the guy who was working on it saw something amazing, a figure in the clouds during the storm, looking peaceful and powerful. And yes, it seemed to be Jesus himself. This photo and what happened became famous among their friends and family, turning the picture into something really special. 19. Jesus in Argentina. In the small, quiet town of General Las Heras in Buenos Aires, Argentina, something extraordinary happened that got everyone talking. They found a tree trunk that looks a lot like Jesus Christ. This tree has turned the town into a place where lots of people go, almost like a religious journey, because they're amazed by the shape of Jesus in the tree. So here's what went down. In the middle of this town, there was this normal tree that suddenly became famous. One day, a local named Pablo Jose Fried saw something special in it. He took a look and felt a strong connection, saying it was like seeing Jesus Christ right in the tree. Then there's H.V. Velo, another local, who took a picture of it. Vela said that lots of faithful people started coming to the town, wanting to see this tree and pray near it. They wanted to feel closer to God while standing in front of this unique tree. And just like that, the word got out fast, and the picture of the tree spread everywhere online. What used to be a quiet place is now buzzing with tourists. They all want to see this tree for themselves, hoping maybe they'll feel something special or get a blessing. 18. The voice of Jesus. Here's a pretty amazing story. Even though we can't pick up the phone and call Jesus Christ, that doesn't mean we can't experience something special from him. Let's return to September 11th, 1999, in New York's Battery Park. It was a big day, called the World Marian Peace Regatta, where lots of religious folks known as Marians came together from all over the world. These events are usually filled with a lot of praying and religious ceremonies. But on this day, something incredible was going to happen. Father Gerard was leading a prayer, a very important part of their tradition. As he was praying, something changed, his voice. It became different, really deep and moving, giving everyone chills, especially when he said, "For my body will be given up for you." These words felt like they had a powerful, heavenly touch to them, reaching deep into everyone's heart. The people there were captivated, feeling something extraordinary in their very core. They believed it was Jesus speaking through Father Gerard. The place was filled with a mix of shock and deep faith as these meaningful words spread through the crowd. 17. Mysterious figure caught on security cam. Security cameras usually capture blurry and silent videos, right? And often, they catch stuff that sends shivers down your spine. Well, this story fits right into that mysterious vibe. Here's what happened. There's this video floating around, and no one knows where it came from. It's got this part that'll make you stop and think. On this tape, there's a figure glowing in the dark, and it's not something ordinary like a thief or an animal. This thing, glowing and clear on the video, moves around in a way that's downright spine-chilling. As you watch, this bright figure doesn't just stay put, it floats through the room smoothly, like something out of this world, maybe doing some kind of heavenly checkup. Now, calling it a ghost doesn't quite fit, as ghosts are supposed to act out their past lives and stick close to the ground. But this creature moves in a way that's light and graceful, kind of like how you'd imagine angels to move, those beings from the stories that are supposed to watch over us from above. Is it possible that what the camera caught is an angel on its night shift, looking out for us? It's a weird and kind of nice thought, that there might be this guardian figure out there. Yet it also makes you wonder what it knows that we don't. 16. The Notre Dame fire. In April 2019, something big happened that had everyone watching closely. Notre Dame, a very famous church with a lot of history, caught on fire. This fire at Notre Dame was a big tragedy. It started in the evening and quickly turned into a major emergency. The church was really old, built with ancient wood, and it was full of important and historic stuff. As the fire got worse, everyone was really worried, including the mayor of Paris and everyone watching. One of the big moments was when the church's tall spire, which was added in the 19th century, fell. It was a heartbreaking part of the fire because it was not only old, but also held historical significance. During this scary time, a woman named Leslie Rowan from Scotland was watching the news and saw something amazing in the flames. She thought she saw Jesus Christ in the fire, which made a lot of people talk. Some agreed with her, seeing something special in the flames, while others just saw the fire itself. But even in all the sadness, there was some hope. The firefighters and other people worked super hard to stop the fire and save as much of the church and its treasures as they could. They managed to save some really important items like the crown of thorns, which is believed to have been worn by Jesus, and a very old tunic belonging to St. Louis. 15. Angel Canon. Have you ever thought about how angels travel between heaven and earth? It's quite the head-scratcher, right? We humans can't just grow wings and fly, and although birds are great at flying, they're not the heavenly messengers we're talking about. Angels are something else entirely. They need a super fast way to get from up there to down here. Now there's this fun idea called the Angel Canon. It's not about fighting, it's for sending angels from heaven to earth quickly. There are even some videos that show something like this, a sort of heavenly launcher for angels. The interesting part is that these angels travel so fast we can't even see them. Seeing an angel is super rare after all. They are so mysterious that they might be moving at the speed of light, staying out of our sight. So why a canon? Well, angels need to stay hidden to keep their mystery alive. They can't just wander around where everyone can see them. Zipping through the sky super fast keeps them out of trouble and keeps their heavenly work secret. 14. In a Bulgarian church. In 1993, something incredible happened in Sofia, Bulgaria's capital. It all happened during a normal church service, full of people praying and singing. Suddenly there's a big stir, because a woman in the crowd, who has been blind since she was born, starts shouting that she can see a man's tie. Now that might not seem like a big deal at first, but the shocker is her newfound sight. This unexpected moment made everyone go quiet. Then slowly, the place lit up with excitement and wonder. People couldn't believe what was happening. It was like a miracle right there in the church. They started singing with even more passion, and the woman was just so thankful, saying it was a heavenly miracle that she could see. But that's not where the story ends. Some American singers who had come to Bulgaria were there, and they later tried to share their trip's experiences with folks back home in Tennessee. When they looked at the video they recorded, they saw something unbelievable. A man dressed in white with long hair and a beard, kind of like how many think Jesus looks. Back in Sofia, nobody remembered seeing someone like that at the service. It was as if this man, looking like Jesus, was there for a hidden purpose, showing himself only to help the blind woman see. The American group was amazed and sent the video back to Sofia, making everyone wonder even more. This church service turned into a legendary event, something divine that touched everyone involved. And the video, it became a sort of holy object, spreading the story even as the world was just getting into the digital age. 13. Seen in the west of Fostoria. So, back in 1986, something pretty wild happened in Fostoria, Ohio, a place you'd normally associate with farming, not heavenly events. There was this ordinary soybean oil tank that all of a sudden became the talk of the town. People started saying they saw an image of Jesus Christ on the tank, and just like that, it became a big deal. Remember, this was way before social media could make something go viral. Despite that, news about the tank spread super fast, attracting loads of people to Fostoria. Folks were flocking to this small town, especially along Ohio Route 12, all of them eager to see this unexpected sight. There were hundreds of people there, gathered at night, sitting on the grass, all looking at this tank that shone with yellow paint. And there, on the tank, was what looked like Jesus, wearing a robe, with a little child next to him. Now, some people were skeptical, asking why Jesus would show up on a soybean oil tank of all places. But you couldn't ignore the sense of wonder that took over everyone there. 12. Unusual cloud formation. In San Salvador de Jujuy, Argentina, Monica Aro was just having a normal day until she looked up at the sky and saw something amazing. The sky, which we usually don't think much about, suddenly turned into something special. Monica saw a cloud that looked exactly like Jesus Christ, so clear and striking that it made her cry. Feeling both surprised and moved, Monica quickly took a photo with her phone. She wanted to capture this moment and share what she felt was more than just a picture. It was like a blessing. When she shared the photo online, it caught people's attention, making them think of the famous Christ the Redeemer statue in Rio, even though they are far apart. They didn't just see a face in the cloud. They saw a figure that looked like Jesus, with a crown and his arms open wide, just like the welcoming image of Jesus we often see. 11. Angelic appearance on live TV. Live TV is always full of surprises, and guess what? It looks like even heavenly beings want to join the fun. During a news broadcast, they were showing a quiet forest scene when something unexpected caught the camera operator's eye. Suddenly, everyone at home sees it too. A strange, glowing light, peaceful yet unexpected, right there on their screens. People started guessing right away. Was it a UFO? Maybe a ghost looking for some screen time, or something else mysterious? But the calm vibe of the light made some think of angels, those heavenly figures from stories and beliefs, watching over us like a kind and silent guardian. It's not every day you hear about angels popping up on live TV. We've seen UFOs zoom by during a soccer match and ghosts sneaking into live reports, but angels, they're something you don't see often in the rush for the next big TV moment. This surprise on the news made everyone think twice. It's like asking for a wild crossover show featuring some divine visitor. 10. Jesus seen in Italy. In Agropoli, Italy, Alfredo Lo Bruto has a house with an amazing view of the Tyrrhenian Sea. One night in 2019, something incredible happened. As the sun was setting, the clouds moved just right, creating a scene so stunning that Alfredo had to take a photo. He felt this urge to share what he saw because it was so beautiful. Alfredo doesn't usually post much online, but this time was different. He said he was captivated by the view and thought the image was too special to keep to himself. Once he put the photo online, it quickly got a lot of attention. People looking at the photo had different ideas about what it showed. Some thought it looked like an angel, and others felt it reminded them of the Christ the Redeemer statue in Brazil, especially because of how the figure seemed to have its arms spread out. Everyone agreed, though, that it was an amazing photo. This whole thing brings up a big conversation about nature and how we see things. Some might say it's just light playing with the clouds, but others, looking with faith, see it as a miracle. The universe is full of wonders, and who's to say these moments can't have a deeper meaning? 9. Jesus' face inscribed on rock. And have you ever found something really surprising when you were just out for a regular jog? Shay House, who's studying in Virginia and loves to run and hike, had one of those moments. Near her school, there's this place called the Blackwater Creek Trail, a path many people use but only a few discover its secrets. Shay's experience is a cool example of finding faith in unexpected places. On a morning run, exploring some new trails, Shay spotted a big rock that caught her eye. But this wasn't just a normal rock. When she got closer, she saw something amazing. The rock had a natural marking that looked like the face of Jesus Christ, showing details like the crown of thorns and a peaceful expression. Shay felt she had to share this with others, so she made a video. In the video, she points out all the details like the eyes, nose, and even the expression of Jesus on the rock, inviting everyone to see and think about this spiritual image right there in nature. Talking to a local news channel, Shay explained how, with her favorite worship music playing, she felt this deep connection to her faith. This experience on the Blackwater Creek Trail was like a sign from above for her, making her faith even stronger. 8. Seen in Magong. Back on April 8, 2020, when Colombia was deep into dealing with the coronavirus, something unusual happened in Magong, a town in the north. People started talking about a tree that seemed to show the image of Jesus on the cross. At first, people didn't take it seriously, but then pictures of the tree popped up online, sparking a lot of interest. Even with strict quarantine rules, lots of people couldn't resist checking out the tree. They went there hoping to find comfort, to remember those who passed away because of the pandemic, and to look for some peace. The problem was that this turned into a big crowd, and soon the place was packed, with everyone forgetting about keeping their distance and wearing masks. The local authorities had to step in and break up the crowd to keep everyone safe. But the tree, with its special branches, had already become a symbol of hope and spiritual wonder for many. People felt torn between following the rules and wanting to stay by the tree to pray and reflect. Even after the crowd was gone, the image of what looked like Jesus in the tree kept spreading online. It became a kind of virtual meeting spot for people, blending traditional beliefs with new ways of connecting. 7. Apparition of the Virgin Mary. In 1997, something incredible happened in Sopo, Colombia, not too far from Bogota. It was just a normal day at the Church of the Sanctuary of the Sopo Stone. This church has a replica of a really old and sacred relic from 1753. That day, a woman was there praying, looking for peace, when she saw something amazing. She believed she saw the Virgin Mary right next to that special stone. News of what she saw spread super fast, and soon, people from everywhere were coming to the church. They wanted to see the Virgin Mary, known as Our Lady of Carmel, for themselves. The church was usually a quiet place, but now it was full of excitement and people, especially women and kids, all drawn by the chance to see something heavenly. And even though the church was careful about calling it a miracle, what happened was really meaningful to everyone who came. They were looking for blessings and some miracle to make their lives a bit easier. 6. Seen on a landslide. In 2015, something huge happened in Putumayo, Colombia. There was a massive landslide that changed the whole look of the place. But in all that mess, something unexpected caught everyone's attention. People started saying that on a hill reshaped by the landslide, you could see the face of Jesus Christ. This news got everyone in the town talking. They believed that only those who really had faith could see Jesus' face in the hill's new shape. Even though some folks online were doubtful, it didn't stop the excitement around the town. Suddenly, everyone wanted to visit the hill, turning it into a spot where people went to feel closer to something holy after such a big disaster. The spot became so popular that police had to step in to manage the large crowds. It's interesting to think about how powerful the desire to see something divine can be, drawing large groups to a place that had just faced a calamity. 5. Seen in California, Pablo Morales in California was just chilling outside with his wife and a buddy, chatting and enjoying the evening. Then, out of nowhere, the night changed from normal to mind-blowing. Pablo looked up and saw what he first thought was a balloon floating in the dark. But when he took a closer look, he saw something amazing, a figure flying in the sky that looked a lot like Jesus Christ. Pablo was totally blown away by this. He said the figure moved smoothly through the sky and then suddenly went down toward the ground. He quickly grabbed his phone to get this crazy scene on video. His wife and friend got caught up in the excitement too, all of them amazed by what they were seeing. After Pablo shared the video online, people started guessing what it could be, like a balloon or a drone. But Pablo didn't buy those ideas, especially since they were near an airport where those things aren't usually allowed to fly low. The whole thing left them all in shock, trying to figure out what exactly they had seen. 4. Man flying up in the sky. We all wish we could fly, right? But we're stuck on the ground, only dreaming of flying with gadgets like jetpacks or in airplanes. Now think of a wild scene off the coast of France, where characters like Rocky and Bullwinkle are having a blast in the sky. Sounds pretty out there, doesn't it? It's like a fun way of saying we all wish we could just break free and float up into the sky. This story is about a bunch of friends cruising through the city when they spot something unbelievable. There was this person way up on some scaffolding and it looked like they were about to jump. Nowadays, people might pull out their phones to film it, which is a bit of a tricky choice because it might be more important to call for help instead. But then things take a wild turn. Instead of something sad happening, this person jumps and then, unbelievably, starts flying through the air, landing safely. It's the kind of thing you can hardly believe, making you wonder if it's some kind of stunt, or maybe even something like a miracle, as if a heavenly force is at play. 3. In the Negev desert of Israel, there's a place called Shifta, an old farming village from Byzantine times. It's not just a bunch of old rocks. It's a site full of history. Archaeologists digging around there found something really special, a painting on the wall that shows Jesus Christ, which is a big deal because finding early Christian art in the Holy Land is pretty rare. This painting, even though it's pretty worn out, still shows Jesus in a way that tells his story powerfully. What's interesting is that this image of Jesus is a bit different from what we usually think of. Instead of long hair and a beard, the painting shows him with short, curly hair, a long face, and a long nose. Archaeologists have found other ancient artworks before, showing important moments like Jesus' transfiguration, birth, and baptism. But this painting in Shifta is really something else. 2. Fire rainbow angel phenomena. Over in Camden, South Carolina, there was a moment when everyone looked up at the sky. They saw a cloud that stood out from the rest, clear against the blue sky. This wasn't just any cloud. It looked a lot like an angel posing in a way that seemed to hint at something more than just weather. Sure, we could think it was caused by planes flying high or some unusual weather trick, or maybe it's just the cloud doing what clouds do best, forming shapes. But that day, with the sky so clear and bright, those common ideas didn't fit. This cloud was different, sparking curiosity and conversations. And it doesn't hurt to entertain the thought of angels floating around up there. That cloud, hanging so peacefully and perfectly in the sky, managed to turn skeptics into spectators, offering a little glimpse of something beyond the everyday, something kind of heavenly. So what's the deal with this cloud? Is every cloud a little piece of heaven, or was this one a special message, an angel showing up in the clouds? The angelic cloud in Camden leaves us with these thoughts, inviting us to gaze up and maybe spot something more than just the usual blue and white in the sky. 1. In Indonesia one morning, the sky put on a real show. A cloud changed shape and looked just like Jesus Christ, catching the eye of many people. This sight quickly made regular places fill up with people wanting to see this amazing view themselves. On social media like Twitter, photos and videos of this special cloud spread fast, making lots of people excited. Both those who are very religious and those just interested in the sight found it fascinating, especially when the sunlight made the cloud stand out even more against the morning sky. These moments when it seems like heaven and earth are connected make us stop and think. They help some people feel even more sure that our world is full of signs from something greater, mixed right into our daily lives. All right, we've gone through 20 fascinating stories where people say they caught Jesus Christ on camera. Each one is more interesting than the last, right? I'm eager to hear what you think about these unusual sightings. How about jumping into the comments to share your view? These images make us question the usual stuff we see every day.